The day had started with so much joy, excitement, and dreams of a perfect life. Yet little did Ayesha know that this day would become the beginning of her most painful trial. The morning sun poured its golden rays through the curtains as she sat in front of the mirror, her hands trembling slightly as the final touches of her bridal makeup were applied. Her friends and sisters buzzed around her, laughing and trying to calm the storm of nerves that she couldn't contain. Everything seemed perfect: the flowers, the dress, the groom's proud smile. But there was a shadow lurking beneath the surface, a shadow that she would not see until later that evening. As Ayesha walked down the aisle, every eye was on her, and a tear rolled down her cheek, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming mixture of love and anticipation. She had dreamt of this day since childhood, yet a small, uneasy feeling tugged at her heart. Her husband, Samir, stood waiting, his hand extended and his smile warm, yet there was something in his eyes she couldn't quite understand. The ceremony passed in a blur of smiles, vows, and applause, and soon they were pronounced husband and wife. Friends and family cheered, cameras clicked endlessly, and Ayesha felt a momentary rush of pure happiness, believing that this was the start of a lifelong fairy tale. The honeymoon had been planned meticulously: a picturesque beach resort, soft golden sand, and the tranquil sound of waves kissing the shore. Yet the night of their wedding, as they sat across each other in the quiet of their hotel room, Samir's expression changed. It was subtle at first, a tightness around his lips, a flicker of hesitation in his eyes, but it was enough to make Ayesha's stomach churn. He cleared his throat and, in a voice that trembled slightly, said words that shattered her world. "Ayesha, I think we need to talk about something important. I don't think we should continue this marriage." Ayesha froze, her heart pounding as if it had stopped entirely. She had imagined arguments, disagreements, or even small fights, but never this. She tried to speak, to understand, to plead, but the words caught in her throat. The man she had trusted, the man she had dreamed of spending her life with, was asking her for a divorce on the very first night of their marriage. Pain, confusion, and disbelief collided within her, leaving her numb. How could this be happening? Why would he do this after everything? The wedding, the vows, the promises. She was left speechless, unable to comprehend the cruel twist of fate that had turned her world upside down. Days passed in a blur. Ayesha returned home, trying to hide her heartbreak behind forced smiles and polite nods, but the weight of betrayal was unbearable. Friends whispered, family tried to console her, yet no words could fill the emptiness inside her. She felt lost, trapped in a life that had begun with hope but now seemed to hold only despair. Her trust had been shattered, her dreams destroyed, and she began to question everything: her choices, her judgment, even her worth. But amid the darkness, a tiny spark of determination began to flicker inside her, a refusal to let this heartbreak define her. It was during one of her lonely walks in the park, when the wind rustled the leaves and the sun painted golden streaks across the horizon, that she encountered him, the stranger who would change everything. He was sitting on a bench reading a book, and there was an aura of calm and wisdom about him. Their eyes met briefly, and something about his gaze felt familiar, comforting, and oddly reassuring. They struck up a conversation, hesitant at first, yet gradually opening up about their lives, dreams, and fears. Ayesha shared pieces of her pain, the heartbreak that weighed her down, and he listened, not with pity, but with understanding. This encounter became the first seed of hope in her shattered world. The stranger, whose name was Farhan, began to appear more often in her life, not intentionally, but as if fate itself was guiding them toward each other. He became her confidant, her silent supporter, and someone who could see the strength she had forgotten she possessed. With his encouragement, Ayesha started to rebuild herself. Small steps at first, learning to smile again, rediscovering the joy in simple moments, and realizing that her life didn't end with a divorce request. As the chapter ends, Ayesha stands on the balcony of her apartment, watching the city lights twinkle like stars. she feels a quiet strength rising within her, a sense of anticipation for what lies ahead. Life had tried to break her, but she was beginning to realize that even in heartbreak, there could be hope. And little did she know that the unexpected encounter with Farhan was not just a chance meeting. It was the beginning of a journey that would forever change her destiny. The morning sun shone brightly over the city, but Ayesha felt a different kind of light inside her, a sense of renewed purpose and curiosity about the world. She had started spending more time with Farhan, discovering not only his kindness, but also the inspiration he brought into her life. He was not just a friend, but a mirror reflecting the strength she had buried deep within herself. They explored cafes, libraries, and hidden corners of the city together, laughing over trivial jokes, sharing stories of their childhood, and slowly building a bond that neither of them could ignore. Ayesha's transformation was visible to everyone around her. Friends who had once seen her as a fragile, heartbroken bride were now witnessing her courage, resilience, and the gentle light that returned to her eyes. She realized that the pain of her marriage's abrupt beginning had taught her something invaluable: the importance of self-worth, the power of resilience, and the beauty of unexpected connections. Farhan, too, became a part of this transformation, guiding her not with commands, but through example, showing that trust, kindness, and empathy could heal even the deepest wounds. One day, as they strolled through a quiet street lined with autumn trees, Ayesha stumbled upon a small bookstore she had never noticed before. Drawn inside by curiosity, she discovered books on personal growth, poetry, and stories of triumph over adversity. Farhan encouraged her to explore, to lose herself in the written words, and through those pages, Ayesha found strength she had never known existed. Every sentence she read, every story she absorbed, became a stepping stone toward her new life, a life not defined by betrayal, but by courage and self-discovery. Time passed, and Ayesha's confidence grew. She confronted Samir, not with anger, but with quiet dignity. She spoke of her journey, her growth, and how she had reclaimed her life. The encounter with Farhan had not only brought hope, but had given her the clarity to see that a failed marriage did not determine her worth. She could choose happiness, pursue her dreams, and live life on her terms. Samir, taken aback by her transformation, realized that his decision to leave had led Ayesha to a strength and grace he had never anticipated. The bond between Ayesha and Farhan deepened, evolving naturally from friendship to something neither could deny. Yet, it was not just romantic. It was a bond built on respect, understanding, and the shared journey of overcoming heartbreak. Every encounter, every conversation, every silent moment together reminded Ayesha that life had a way of replacing pain with purpose, sorrow with joy, and endings with unexpected beginnings. As the chapter and the story draws to a close, Ayesha stands at the edge of a cliff overlooking the ocean, waves crashing below, wind caressing her face. Farhan stands beside her, and for the first time in months she feels complete, not because someone else filled a void, but because she had rebuilt herself, piece by piece, heart by heart. She turns to the camera, metaphorically speaking, and smiles, a smile of triumph, resilience, and hope. And as she speaks, she encourages viewers: no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to rise, to heal, and to embrace the unexpected. Subscribe to our channel, because stories of courage, hope, and transformation are just beginning, and you won't want to miss a single one. The story ends not with heartbreak, but with empowerment, a reminder that even the darkest moments can lead to the most beautiful transformations, and that sometimes an unexpected encounter is all it takes to change everything.